says we're streaming. We're going to wait and see. YouTube is doing some and now it's streaming. Why is that? Why is that? I don't know. I don't know. So stream is healthy. Going to have to try to figure that out. But the good news is it does show that it's working. And hey, I guess there's worse things than that. So I'm definitely going to have to get to the bottom of that. All right, so let's get. That's Inspector Gadget. You don't need to see that. Yeah, so let's like work through here. Okay. Phew, man, what an afternoon. What an afternoon. And it goes live like right away. It goes live like right away. That's crazy that it is going live like instantly now. So that's a good news. That's good. That's positive. Let's just get this underway now that we know the YouTube is actually running this time. Oh, gosh. So frustrating. All right. Greetings, one and all. Chris Courtney here, New Pragmatic. It's time for the feedback loop. Still living in the hiccups of it's almost like we had everything so set up and so primed and pristine and ready to go for like the last, 8 months. And then the YouTube snap happened and like 2 days in a row just completely blown up. We're going to get this figured out. But today, Bren's back, Maddie's back, and I'm just going to go ahead and share my. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. So, first thing I want to point out is tonight is the it's after office hours after hours. New Pragmatic, where we basically invite anybody who wants to come in for a workshop. It has nothing to do with product design. Tonight we're going to be looking at Figma, and one of the reasons why I'm doing this workshop tonight is a lot of people struggle with how to utilize Figma components and how to utilize Figma instances, and I wanted to get us away from the standard like how to create a button, because I mean, come on, how many times can we talk about buttons? And my daughter was working on a project for school that, for her school, she's like in 7th grade, where they were drawing Funko Pop characters. Now, they were just like, copy a picture of them, draw them. They weren't doing shading or anything, just like drawing the shape. They were working in something called Google Canvas. It's terrible. Don't go look at it. It's like 10 layers. It's not very good. But it got me to thinking, what if we could create a component library of all the like Funko Pop attributes, like the hair and the eyes and the heads and the bodies, and what if we could mix all these things together and like, have something where you could Funko Pop yourself. And that got me to thinking, well, could I do that in Figma? And the answer is, yeah, you can do that in Figma. And so what I've done is I've created I've created the beginnings of a component library for Funko Pop, where I just kind of started off with actually I started off with this base character here, and this is just like base Funko Pop shape. Okay, I made it green. It was like, ooh, well, that's the Hulk. And then I said, oh, well, let's go get hair for the Hulk. Let's go get eyebrows for the Hulk, like angry eyebrows. And let's go get the mouth for the Hulk. And if you're wondering, like, where did you get those at? I just like grabbed characters like that. This is the Hulk's mouth that I drew that is now like right there. Okay, this is clearly not the Hulk's body. That's from a different shape, but eventually I might sit down and draw that. The hair, same thing. If you look up here at the hair, that's clearly the Hulk's hair. Wolverine, everybody knows the classic like Wolverine, like looks like he's kind of got a widow's peak sort of couple of like the hair kind of comes down to widow's peak and then it kind of goes up in the back for some reason. I couldn't begin to tell you why. Black Panther. Black Panther I started working on. Mainly, I pulled Black Panther over because I wanted a nice skin tone to work off of, and I also was like really interested in both the eyebrows and the way that the eyes work. I actually think the eyes work so much better in the Black Panther than these almost feel like they're dead by comparison. And that was off the original that I was working with. Like these feel like they're like poof alive, and like I just like them so much, and the way the nose is made. Anyway, and then like Wonder Woman's headband. If we look over here on the main canvas, you can kind of see, here's the Funko Pop character I was actually basing the headband off of, and here's the headband that I drew in Figma. I'm going to be going into that stuff tonight. Like, what are all the different effects that I'm using? How am I using those effects? And it's pen tool, it's layers, it's drop shadows, it's a lot of stuff that I just don't use when doing like product design. And why don't I use those things? Well, I don't necessarily know that I need them, but I also don't necessarily know that I don't if I knew how to use the tool better. So that's what we're going to be covering tonight. It's at 7 o'clock Central. Hope that you can attend. If you're watching this live stream, just know that this is, and also the other thing, if you're watching this later, know that we're going to be doing this for a few months. This is not going to be like a one and done thing. And people are like, well, why would you do it for multiple months? Do you know how many Figma or Funko Pop characters? Do you know how many of those things there are? So if I really want to create like a robust library, like I would love to have like 20 different hairstyles, 20 different like attachments, like crowns and hoods and maybe face masks and just all sorts of stuff to where you can like mix these things together to make things that didn't exist before. And that's one of the things that I thought was so cool about. I never was like a big fan of like the just plain old Funko Pop, but I liked it when they like mashed up characters. Again, ow, Jesus, hit the desk. Again, I'm a nerd, so you can kind of like you can guess I'm a nerd. It's like, yeah, Chris, we kind of knew you were a nerd. All right, so let's bounce away from that. Let's go over here to Maddie. Again, if you want to draw Funko Pop characters, I'll see you tonight. Maddie is in her visual foundation exercise, and I'm just going to take a peek around. Okay, so Maddie didn't get into color yet. Maddie is definitely doing the work on type. All right, and I know that Maddie has been going through and looking at, she's using Squarespace, okay? She's using Squarespace, but she's trying to get an idea of, okay, typographically, what do I think I'm going to use? What am I going to pair together? And that's something that's very important to like have figured out ahead of time. So the first specimen here is IBM Plex, and actually, if I'm correct, this is the specimen that I include. So the second specimen here, well, this is interesting, Maddie. Please review this. I'll go back and do the formal exercise, but I already made this, so it needs lots of work. Placeholder imagery, project copy. Okay. So is this oh, okay. Got it. So let's look at what you've got here. So I'm Maddie, a senior UX designer based in New York. I would try to either size that, either bring the text up or down, or make the width of the column wide enough. I would love to see New York on its own line. I would love to see. I'd rather it be I'm Maddie, a senior UX designer based in New York. Like if you're gonna have the break anywhere, have it after Maddie, a senior UX designer based in New York. And when you go into mobile from here, it should still work. It may become a senior UX designer based in New York. when it gets down to a phone, but that should be fine. But right now it breaks kind of strange. Um, I'm interested in growth and equity. I believe in product design. I believe product design is as much about arduous work, the arduous, the arduous work, or the magic of planning, that a- is is as much about the arduous work, the arduous, the planning. No, sorry, reading it all wrong. I believe product design is as much about the magic of planning as it is about design thinking. Um, my design career is brought to you by a past life of food service and blogging. Um, my design career is brought to. It's interest. That's an interesting way. It's almost sounds like it's sponsored by a past life of food service and blogging, which technically would be correct. Um, I'm not. There's something about that second line. I believe product design is as much about the magic of planning, the arduous work slash magic of planning, strike through rather, uh, is as much about is as much about the magic of planning as it is about the design, as it is about design thinking. Okay, I can see that. Yeah, it's a lot of this is because you have where the break is hitting on this is where you do the strike through. I think that's why I kept tripping on it. If it wasn't through the strike through, I could complete the thought without having to kind of bounce around. So that might be something to look out for. I picked you some of my best works. Um, I picked you. I picked you is an awkward phrase. Um, a curate a curated collection of my best work just for you might be a better way to say, like, just for you. Here are some of my best works just for you. Enjoy this curated collection of my best work just for you. I don't know. It. I picked you. Comes off a little odd. Growing Gerber. It's all about it. It all begins with an idea. Maybe you want to launch. Maybe you want to launch a business. Maybe you want to turn a hobby into something more, or maybe you have a creative project to share with the world. Whatever it is, the way you tell your story online can make all the difference. Um. Oh, never mind. That's not your copy. That's I was reading that going, I don't know if that has anything to do with Gerber. Good news, it doesn't. Okay, growing Gerber, finding Burt's Bees, the business of baby food. Um, so overall, I mean, this is. I think this needs some work. I'd like I'd like to get some adjustment made up here, and this may be just us getting in there and working with the the width of the thing. Um, Kaluna, I want to get a sense of what that is because I see it listed here, but oh, I can't really get into it, can I? I can't. Um, so obviously this is just a picture. So I'm going to ask for. I'm going to ask for you to share. Oh, candle. Can't. Let's see here. I could duplicate it, but I don't want to duplicate this yet. I just want to ask for permission. Um, oh, nope, not looking for that. And I don't want. Yeah, I'll just send you a request for permission on this. Um, but you know, I will leave a few notes in here. Adjust width or adjust paragraph structure to avoid awkward breaks at main and mobile sizes. You know, if it comes down, don't worry about that. Then you get down here. I picked U comes off a tad awkward. Perhaps something just for you instead. But we'll, you know, we'll look at this further. I do want to get access. Okay. I just totally misspelled it. Can I edit this? Yes, I can. And color. All right. So a few of my thoughts there. I want to see the type pushed further. It just seems like right now we're in the midst of, you're kind of looking at the typography that you're kind of looking at the content that you created, which is fine. I like the content. That's fine. Let's go over here to, I just want to look at your notes really fast. I went rogue, noticing themes, started playing around direct Squarespace. I didn't open formal style exercise in Figma until now. The aim for having that done through Thursday, but I have a main V1. Yeah, okay, so you've got my feedback. Let's hop over here to, oh god, this thing, the bouncing ATX. Okay, so Bryn's come back and she has refactored the heuristics work and the competitive matrix work that she's done to this point. What was interesting about these sites, Bryn, is like when you go here to ATX, the sports and adventure site, like they are full on like, hey, what's your game? Play now. Like there's no sign that anything is happening in the world. And that like blows my mind a little bit. I've seen them, you know, because I've dug in on their sites. I've kind of looked around at their various social media and whatnot, and I've seen them, and also like their site was updated in 2018, so I'm not sure what's really happening there. But I have noticed that they very slyly have just been, you know, I'm not going to tell you COVID's going on. But I'm going to sign you up, and the sports that are being played may not be like what you typically think of. And when we look at this, we've got like flag football, soccer, indoor, ping pong, events, esports, cornhole. Like esports is interesting to me because like that ultimately tells me that there is some component that's like, let's just do this online. But then there's like indoor volleyball. Indoor volleyball is like, can we be inside? And I'm not sure. I'm going to click on that real quick. Yeah, what's funny is like this can be part of our first indoor volleyball league, so maybe it's not even there. And bounce. Basketball, maybe they're playing, you know, basketball is something that can be played outside. It says get in the game, registration options, 2 nights, competitive basketball. Yeah, like, so it doesn't go in depth on anything. It just kind of like skims over the top. There's no mention of COVID anywhere on the site, which blows my mind. And if you go and look at some of their competitors, you know, some of the other competitors, like Austin CCS, like right here on top. Aside from everything else in the world being here, um, which is not great, they have start dates and deadlines will adjust to accommodate venue openings. So you can go in here, COVID-19 updates. That seems kind of interesting. Like they've even taken the time to like make a comedic photo header here out of like somebody playing kickball with a COVID like cluster. Let's kick COVID. So option A, option B, city of Austin like closed until further notice. Last update September 24th. Private sports venues open, closed. County parks are closed until further notice. Like you get a lot more here, even though like so much of this up here is just this header is just terrible. But you get a lot more up out of this than you do from the other side. I'm also wondering what get alerts is. Weather alerts. Okay, so this is like rainouts and stuff. All right, that's fine. And they're hiring. Hey, look at that. So anyway, Austin SSC. I think that they do a better job of communicating. Might be some more there for you. And then Naked. Oh wow. Okay, so till we play again, we're practicing social distancing for the next few weeks. Winter programming is currently suspended until further notice. Spring leagues are likely to be delayed. However, we will be back when it's safe to do so. Learn more about COVID. Click here. So like they again are right up front. Although that's interesting. April 7th update. Like are they around? Are they alive? And this is where I want to go. Like I want to go look at their Twitter. And if I can't find something here, I want to go look at their Facebook. Yeah, their Twitter is not going to give me much. The last time they updated their Twitter was 2013. Not going to get a lot out of them there. Let's go look at Facebook. Let's see if they've got any updates here. April 8th. So this is a situation where one of their competitors may be dead. Like updated 26 weeks ago. So like I do wonder if like did this company just die? I don't know. Let's go to Meetup. Let's take a look at their Meetup calendar. The group you're looking for does not exist. That's not a great sign. Okay? So these are the types of things that I drill down on before I put too much stake in any one group. This one may just be dead. All right, and that's another good observation. I mean, there are leagues that are completely ignoring it, which would be the Bounty League over here. There are leagues that are saying, "Hey, there are some things we should do," and there are sports teams, associations like Active Weekend that are completely dead. So that appear to be dead. From the perspective of a company that's come to you and said, we're concerned, this tells you why. Because if they were to look around and like, oh God, did Naked die? I don't know. Because they know who their competitors are. All right? So they're looking for you to be aware of this stuff. And when you come across, the one thing I didn't notice anywhere, and I'm just going to look for it. I'm going to search for COVID. COVID, one mention, right here. Short summary. Austin's SEC prioritizes player safety and inclusion by providing COVID guidelines, waivers, team rules, making sports positive place for everyone. That's the only spot. Although there were mentions down here, but I'm not seeing it in the observation from here. So that's one thing I would want to look at. And then like questions for future consideration. You know, I gotta wonder if ATX is going to be impacted at all. Um, you know, Austin SEC, SSC. I've got to wonder how I'm wondering how they're adjusting. Um, and the good news is you're picking up a lot of like the pricing bits, and you're paying attention to like how do you register, what are the different sports. This group has 14 sports. I would be curious to go through and like say, hey, are they playing basketball? Like I don't know. Let's go over here and take a look. Let's take a look at basketball. And basketball, it says, yeah, it looks like they are. Let's view results. Or maybe they're not. It's interesting. Rules: all social, all skill levels, all co-ed. Let's look at something else. Let's look at, I don't know, volleyball. Okay, so basketball had no offerings, but volleyball has offerings. Um, in volleyball, it looks like they are sand volleyball, so I'm going to guess that's outside. Let's look at some of these other ones, like bowling. Bowling's probably inside, right? Do they have any bowling options? They do not. Do they have any? What's something else that's inside? So bowling's inside. They don't have it. Basketball's inside. They don't have it. I'm guessing that volleyball was sand, so it's probably outside. Let's take a look at kickball. Kickball, I would think, is outside, and they've got it. All right, so dodgeball. Dodgeball seems very inside. Do they have it? They do not. Ping pong sounds inside, like wind blows your ping pong ball around. Do they have anything? They do not. Ultimate frisbee. And again, I'm just kind of like picking things out of a hat because I'm just wanting to research where they're at with the sports, and there's nothing there, but it's ultimate frisbee, so there I'm not unsure. I'll pick flag football. Flag football should be popular. It's played outside, and they don't have it. So this is very interesting to me. Some of the sports that I would, let's look at softball. Softball's outside. Should be something here. And they don't view all offerings. Ping pong. Wednesdays. View all offerings. Interesting. Very interesting. I'm not even sure if this widget is working properly. Like there's lots of concerns with this site. But again, aside from the fact that the site itself is terrible, they do the best job of putting it out there. Here's what we're doing, and it's right there at the top. The on the other side of things, I thought that your heuristics, your heuristics is down here, and I really do think you're going into great detail on this. Even if ATX isn't like a great competitor from a perspective of being transparent about what's going on with COVID, they do have the most robust site of the three that we've looked at. So I think you're picking the right one to like break down. I do want to go through this further, but I would be interested to see the heuristics difference. We were just looking at the Austin SSC. I suspect their heuristics are gonna be worse than ATX SA. So take a look at that. But you're definitely now in the right field. I'm specifically interested in, as the client is like, help me get around this COVID thing. Like, what can you do to beat your competitors to be more transparent about what's going on? Because if I'm concerned about COVID, and I would be if I was going to go play in a league, and I've got friends here in Chicago, they play in like hockey leagues. nothing's happening. So if I was somebody like coming to town, I'm like, I want to go see if I can play some hockey. I would definitely be on those sites like, well, I can go to Johnny's Ice House. Johnny's Ice House. Hockey, yeah, men's league. So here's the men's league, adult league. Let's see what they got. Currently on hold, COVID-19. Like, it should just be like right there. Like, and like, I'm just curious, like, what happens when you go to the homepage? Is there anything about COVID on the homepage? Yeah, they do a terrible job. I wasn't expecting them to do a great job, but it does, fall session registrations open. The session's almost here. I'm just curious, like, if you click on this, learn to skate, like, they've got certain things that you can do, but like, you get into the adult programs, and okay, so let's click on adult league, and hey, everything's on hold. Why did I have to go 3 pages in to get to, hey, everything's on hold? Like, there's nothing here that says that, right? So this is the type of things that these are the types of things you're trying to communicate to your client. Like, how do you message what the hell's going on? I would not take the Johnny's route, and I wouldn't take the well, that's not Austin CC. I wouldn't take the ATX route either. Like, what's your game? Play now. And there's the bouncing GIF. It's so bad. The leagues, you can sign up. You can sign up for a lot of stuff. But where is the, like, be careful? Where is the, we're paying attention to what's going on? I don't see any of it. So, anyway, I'm going to leave that there. I think you're making great progress, though. And, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for today's edition of the Feedback Loop. I hope this was helpful for you. It's always helpful for me. And I look forward to seeing each and every one of you that can participate tonight at 7 o'clock to come on by and join me for some, is it Funko Potato Head? Is it Figma Pop Head? I don't know. We're just going to have a lot of fun. We're going to draw a lot of stuff. And we're going to learn how to use Figments in different ways. But without further ado, I'm Chris Courtney. This has been the Feedback Loop. I'll see you later.